The Bermuda Triangle is a place to fear. Listen. This is the sound of a plane being erased from existence. Not crashing, not sinking, but vanishing mid-breath as if the sky itself opened up and swallowed it whole. No scattered wreckage, no floating debris, no life jackets bobbing in the swells, just static, then silence. A silence so complete it echoes across decades, whispering one terrible truth. Here in this cursed stretch of ocean, the laws of nature do not apply. For over 5 centuries, sailors have spoken of this place in hushed tones. They called it the Devil's Sea, the graveyard of the Atlantic. A 500,000 square mile void where compasses spin like drunken needles, where radios scream with voices that aren't human, and where time twists in on itself. Tonight we will dredge up the classified files. The scientific expeditions that came back changed. We will follow the trail of broken signals, of Southwest calls cut mid-sentence, of pilots who radioed the skies melting before vanishing forever. This is not a ghost story. This is a crime scene, and the evidence is mounting. Consider this: in 1945, 5 seasoned World War II pilots, men who navigated by the stars through enemy fire, flew into perfect weather and lost all sense of direction. Their final transmission: we can't see land, the ocean looks wrong. In 1918, the USS Cyclops, a ship longer than a football field, disappeared with 309 souls aboard. No storm, no distress call, just gone. And in 2015, when the SSL Pharos black box was finally recovered from 15,000 feet down, the last words weren't screams. They were confusion. The compass sits pointing the wrong way. Coincidence? Bad luck? Or something watching from below? The official reports will tell you there's nothing unusual here, that the Bermuda Triangle is a myth, a trick of statistics. But they cannot explain why. On clear nights, fishermen here still report lights pulsing beneath the surface. Why deep-sea robots have captured structures on the ocean floor that match no known shipwrecks. Or why in 2020 a research submersible surfaced with its cameras melted and its crew babbling about a city made of shadow. So I ask you, when the bravest explorers return shaken, when the most advanced technology fails, when even the water itself seems to remember, who are we to call them liars? Every legend has its genesis. For the Bermuda Triangle, it began not with a scream, but with silence. The year was 1840. The Rosalie, a French merchant brigantine carrying Bordeaux wine, Belgian lace, and 23 souls, was crossing these waters when she simply stopped answering hails. Weeks later, she was found adrift near Nassau, her sails taut with wind, in a sea without breeze, her cargo untouched, her lifeboats still secured, but her crew gone. Not a single drop of blood, not a shred of torn clothing, just empty. A historian explained. The official inquiry called it mass hysteria, suggested the crew abandoned ship during a storm. But the logs tell another story. The weather was clear. The cargo manifest shows they just opened a crate of Madeira wine. And here's what wasn't reported. First Mate LaCroix insists he hears singing from the hold. The dogs will not stop howling. Captain has ordered the cargo inspected at dawn. God protect us from what 12 other ships would find the Rosalie that year. Some reported seeing figures moving below deck. Others claimed her compass spun like a dervish even at anchor. The final witness, a British naval officer who boarded her in 1842, had found every chronometer stopped at 3:17 a.m., the exact time of her last log entry. The vanishing of the USS Cyclops, March 4th, 1918. The USS Cyclops, a Proteus-class collier carrying 10,000 tons of manganese ore and 309 souls, steams into history and into oblivion. She was the Titanic of naval auxiliaries, too big to sink, too important to fail, and yet. By dawn on March 10th, not a single distress call, not one life preserver, just silence. A naval historian said, "Here's what the Navy won't tell you. The Cyclops sister ships, the Proteus and the Nereus, vanished in the same waters in 1941. Same cargo, same route, and both disappeared. On the exact same lunar phase as the Cyclops. The official inquiry was unknown, but declassified 1972 documents revealed divers found something 150 miles off Norfolk. Not the Cyclops, but her cargo doors, all 12 of them, still sealed from the inside and covered in claw marks. 309 men went into the deep, but the Bermuda Triangle sends things back. Commercial flights fall victim December 28, 1948. Flight NC 16002 was supposed to be aviation's triumph, proof that even the Bermuda Triangle could be tamed by modern technology. 32 passengers, 3 crew, and one final transmission that still keeps air traffic controllers awake at night. The pilot called Miami approach. "This is NC 16002. We're 50 miles out. Everything looks good. The stars are very bright tonight. No storm, no mechanical failure. Just a plane full of people swallowed whole by a clear winter sky. The official report, fuel exhaustion." Never mind that ground crews had filled the tanks personally. Never mind that the Civil Aeronautics Board found the plane's manifest listed 33 passengers, when only 32 had boarded. The Marine Sulphur Queen vanishes, February 2nd, 1963. The converted WW2 tanker Marine Sulphur Queen carried 39 men and 15,000 tons of molten sulfur. The Coast Guard would later call her disappearance inexplicable. The crew's families knew better. The survivor's son said on an interview, "My father mailed this from Key West." Last line reads, "They're painting over the symbols in Hold 4 again. The sulfur won't stop moving at night." The postmark, February 4th, 2 days after the ship was declared. When debris finally surfaced, investigators found only 3 items. A life preserver with teeth marks, not human. A captain's log filled with measurements of lateral compass drift, and a ship's nameplate. The metal isn't corroded. It's melted inward as if something colossal hidden down. The Science Wars, July 2003. The RV Atlantis wasn't searching for monsters. They were mapping methane deposits 200 miles northeast of Bermuda. What they brought up from the abyss would rewrite everything we thought we knew and raise far darker questions. When these frozen gas deposits destabilize, they don't just bubble, they detonate. A single rupture can swallow ships whole in seconds. The physics are flawless. The math is irrefutable. The timing, instead oceanographer. See these seismic readings. The triangle's methane doesn't release randomly. It happens in patterns, like something down there is turning the valves. And this is where the theory fractures. Because in 2019, NASA Air 2 spy plane flew through one such methane plume at 70,000 feet. Their instruments recorded something impossible. The oceanographer also said, "Methane explains sinking It doesn't explain why pilots see cities in the clouds, or why every disappearance coincides with magnetic anomalies that precede the gas releases. Unless the gas isn't the cause, it's the byproduct." Magnetic anomalies in electronic fog, December 4th, 1970. Bruce Jernan was no rookie. He'd flown these skies 100 times, but nothing could prepare him for what happened that day. One minute, clear skies. The next, this. A fog that didn't just blind him, it changed reality. Bruce Jernan explained, saying, "My instruments went dead. The compass spun like a top, and then I saw it. A hole in the sky. We entered, and when we came out, Miami Tower said we'd arrived 27 minutes early. But I swear, the flight only took 3 minutes." A physicist, after listening to Bruce, said that what Bruce described, it matches theoretical models of spontaneous space-time curvature. High electromagnetic fields can twist gravity itself in the Bermuda Triangle. It sits atop the most powerful geomagnetic anomaly on Earth. Imagine the fabric of reality as a sheet of paper. Now crumple it. 2 distant points suddenly touch. That's what may happen in the triangle. Ships, planes, they're not vanishing. They're being relocated. Bruce made it home, but others, they might still be in the fog. And sometimes the fog spits things back. The paranormal frontier, July 1968. A U.S. Navy submarine detected a structure off Andros Island. Not rock, not wreckage. Something pulsing at 12 hertz. A frequency that scrambles human brainwaves. When divers reached the site, they found this. A marine archaeologist said, "The stones aren't natural. They're aligned like a circuit, and when we took core samples, they contained traces of beryllium copper, a metal Plato explicitly mentioned in his Atlantis texts. Case, the Firestone crystal remains active beneath the waters of Pisidia. Its energy bends light, warps time." In 2012, a robotic submersible found them, 6 crystalline pillars 2,000 feet down. When its lasers hit the surface, the feet cut out for exactly 6 minutes, 66 seconds. A physicist stated that that's not a reflection, it's a tear, a temporary breach in space-time. If Atlantis had such technology, their sinking might have been intentional, a way to hide. The CIA closed the file in 1979, but divers report the crystals still sing during full moons, and sometimes something sings back. The modern era, even with GPS, even with satellite tracking, the triangle still feeds. The SS El Faro was no antique. She was a modern vessel with cutting-edge navigation, and yet her final moments mirror every disappearance before her. 7:15 a.m. heading on 20 degrees, but the stars don't match. 7:18 a.m. GPS shows us 20 miles off course. Impossible. 7:21 a.m. the storm, it came out of nowhere. The oceanographer said, "We found her at 15,000 feet. And the compass, it was melted from the inside out. The Coast Guard blamed the storm, but the storm didn't explain why. The lifeboats were still secured, the crew's personal devices all reset to January 1, 1945, and the ship's cat survived, found 300 miles away, fur bleached white." The survivor's wife said this while shaking in fear. "The night before he sailed, my husband dreamed of men in Old Navy uniforms warning him. He laughed it off until he saw their ship name, Cyclops. The lesson is clear. The Triangle doesn't care about your technology. It doesn't care about your century. It only cares that you keep sailing in so it can keep feeding." After a century of searching, after satellites, sonar, and submersibles, the Bermuda Triangle yields only contradictions. The scientists call it anomalies. The survivors call it evil. The dead, they say nothing at all. Methane bubbles, but then Bruce Jernon's plane emerging from fog. Atlantis crystals cutting to the El Faro's compass etched with identical symbols. Time warps, overlapped with Flight 19's reappearing radar blip. Perhaps we've been asking the wrong question, not what the triangle is, but why it chooses. Why the Rosalie's crew vanished but her wine remained. Why the El Faro's cat survived when 33 men did not. Why you were still watching while others never made it home. The ocean keeps its secrets, but secrets have a way of digesting their keepers. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like these.